Hello, students. Today we are going to start with the poem Macavity the Mystery Cat by T.S. Eliot. Now, let me just brief you about the author, the poet T.S. Eliot. Well, his full name was Thomas Streams Eliot, and he was born in St. Louis, Missouri on September 26, 1888. He lived in St. Louis during the first 18 years of his life and attended Harvard University. He is the author of many well known poems, and today we are going to read one of his most famous poem, that is Macavity the Mystery Cat. Well, let me just give you a brief introduction about the poem Macavity the Mystery Cat. Well, it's a long poem about a villainous and wicked cat. The poem describes how the mystery cat manages to commit all types of crimes and always escapes from being caught. He breaks all the laws, yet the police fails to catch him. He also has, some companions in crime. The poem is light in tone and theme is not that serious. It is humorous in nature. Now let's begin with the poem, the stanza 1. Macavity is a mystery cat. He is called the hidden paw, for he is the master criminal who can defy the law. He is the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad's despair, for when they reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. So, in the first 4 lines, in the first stanza, the poet says that Macavity is a mystery cat and is known by the name of Hidden Paw. The first letters of the phrase mystery cat are written in capital. So, the name is particular and proper. He is known as Hidden Paw, which means because he is the master criminal and can defy or disobey the law. He is the confusion of Scotland Yard and pain of the flying squad. Pain means he is giving trouble to all the police in that area, and Flying Squad is a branch of the Serious and Organized Crime Command with London's Metropolitan Police. The squad's purpose is to investigate robberies. So, in other words, he has made the police of Scotland confused because when the police reaches the scene of crime, he vanishes away. Now, let's move on to the second stanza. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. He has broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a fakir stare. And when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. You may seek him in the basement, you may look up in the air, but I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. So, in the second stanza, the poet repeats the word Macavity, which suggests that police are searching for him everywhere. According to the poet, there is no one like Macavity, as he has broken every human law as well as the law of gravity. Law of gravity here means that no one can vanish away, but Macavity does. And Macavity's powers of vanishing away, levitation means when vanishing away, can make a fakir or a religious man, get surprised. After committing a crime, he just vanishes away. So when anybody reaches the scene of the crime, he will not be able to find him, though he may search him on the ground or in the air. So the poet tells again that he is not there. It is useless to search for him. Now let's move on to the third stanza. Macavity is a ginger cat. He is very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in. His brow is deeply lined with thought. His head is highly domed. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. He sways his head from side to side with movements like a snake. And when you think he's half asleep, he's always wide awake. So here a brief description of his physical features is given, and here the poet introduces him as a ginger cat, as he is tall and thin. One will know that if he sees him, his eyes are sunken in. His eyebrows are deeply lined with thought, making him look like a villain. His head is domed. Domed here is like, if you see, domed, the shape, round shape. His coat is dusty, as he does not keep himself clean. His whiskers are uncombed. That means he does not, keep himself tidy. And he keeps swaying, that is, moving his head from one side to the other, that are similar to the movements of a snake. When someone would think that he is half asleep, in reality, he is awake and he is in a complete sense. So he is, very good in confusing people. People think that he is asleep, but actually, he is fully awake and he pretends to sleep. Macavity, now moving on to the next stanza. Macavity, there is no one like Macavity, for he is a fiend in feline shape, a monster of depravity. You may meet him in a by street, you may see him in the square, but when a crime's discovered, then Macavity is not there. So in this stanza, students, according to the poet, no one is like Macavity, as he is a evil spirit. Fiend means evil spirit or demon in feline shapes. Feline here is cat. He is a monster of depravity. That is, he is morally corrupt. One can find and meet him in a private street or in the mall, but after his crime is discovered, he vanishes away and cannot be found. So basically here the poet is trying to say that he is completely corrupt by nature. You cannot trust him, and the most important part is that he commits the crime and just moves away. So now moving on to the fifth stanza. He is outwardly respectable. They say he cheats at cards, and his footprints are not found in any file of Scotland Yards. And when the larder is looted, or the jewel case is rifled, or when the milk is missing, or another peg's been stifled, or the greenhouse glass is broken and the trellis past repair, there is the wonder of the thing. Macavity is not there. So again, the entire crime which has been described in this stanza is being done by Macavity, the cat, and again the cat is missing. So here the poet is saying that Macavity is outwardly respectable. That is, he is respected by the people, though he is corrupt, but outwardly, like from outside, everyone pretends to respect him, because some say that he cheats at cards. That means he cheats in a way that no one can even discover. His footprints or his name are not found in any file of Scotland Yard. Footprints here means the name, like any of the, whenever there is a criminal, the file is being prepared for that, but since he has never been caught, so you cannot find his name in any of the police files. However, he commits every crime. Whenever he loots the food, larder is food, or steals jewelry, that means, or milk, or makes a peck is dog, or stifle or suffocate, or breaks greenhouse glass or architecture, he vanishes away quickly and is never found there. So again, the poet is trying to say that he commits all kinds of crime which has been described in this stanza, but he is never able to get caught by the police. He is always running away. Now, moving on to the next stanza, that is sixth one. And when the Foreign Office find a treatise gone astray, or the Admiralty lose some plans and drawings by the way, there may be a scrap of paper in the hall or on the stair, but it is useless to investigate. Macavity is not there. And when the loss has been disclosed, the Secret Service say, it must have been Macavity, but he is a mile away. You'll be sure to find him resting, or licking of his thumb or engaged in doing complicated long division sums. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. There never was a cat of such deceitfulness and suavity. He always has an alibi and one or two to spare. At whatever time the deed took place, Macavity wasn't there. And they say that all the cats whose wicked deeds are widely known, I might mention Mungjoerry, I might mention Griddlebone, are nothing more than agents for the cat who all the time just controls their operations, the Napoleon of crime. So now in the last two stanzas, the poet is trying to say that when the foreign officer finds a treaty gone astray, that is when a law is broken, or when the police when the police lose some plans and drawings, by the way, that is, find that there are papers to which plans to catch Macavity are missing. They find them later on, but in the hall or in the stairs, but it is useless to investigate. Why? Because Macavity has already vanished. So when the loss is disclosed, the Secret Service would say that it was Macavity who did this, but now it is useless as he is already a mile away. That means he has just moved away far. One can find him either resting somewhere or licking his thumb or engaged in doing complicated long division sums. So as he does not leave any proof, so no one is able to catch him. So everyone thinks that he is being sitting doing these kind of stuff, so no one can doubt him. And in the last stanza, the poet says that no one is like Macavity, as there can be no cat as deceitful and so, that is, confident and charming as him. Next, the poet tells that he does not commit crimes alone. He always has an companion. He always has some companion who helps him in committing the crime, and one or two to spare. However, when the crime takes place, he just vanishes away as always. In the next line, the poet says that his companions are also well known because of their crimes. He mentions their names as well. So there are few other companions of Macavity, and the names that the poet has mentioned are Mungjoerry and Griddlebone. However, they are just agents for the cat who all the time. So the mastermind behind all these crimes is Macavity, and Mungjoerry and Griddlebone, they are just the companions. They just control operations of the Napoleon of crime. Now, here Macavity has been compared with Napoleon. Napoleon was a great warrior, and he was always a winner. And so here Macavity has been compared with Napoleon. So students, we just come to this conclusion that the poet has described Macavity as one of those criminals who does all the crime and just runs away without leaving any traces, without any proof, and so the police is never able to catch him. I hope you have enjoyed the poem and must have understood it. Thank you.